Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to the third episode of Crusader Kings 2 as the Duke of Mercia, or technically the Count of Leicester, but you know, it couldn't play one or the other, we had to be both. We're currently in a war with the Duke of Warwickshire and the Duke of Worcestershire, doing our best to try and take Worcester from him because I want the holdings there. It'll give me significantly better gold input than I'm getting already. We did have our Chancellor in Gloucestershire trying to fabricate claims there. That was all going very well until he ended up getting murdered while he was trying to do it. So we have had to appoint a new one. What we could do if we go into the intrigue panel here is we actually have the option to, if I can remember what I'm doing and where I'm doing it, we can invite a holy man to court or invite a noble to court. Now inviting nobles does cost gold, but if we just invite a few of them in, and then what you will get is some new people who may be better than your current council. So it's always worth keeping an eye on who you get in. Sometimes you'll spend money and you'll just get no one useful at all. Or you'll just get people that aren't any better than the ones you already have. And that's just something you have to deal with sometimes. But we didn't really get anybody all that useful. I doubt we're going to have a better chaplain than a 17 at this stage of the game. Yeah, so we're not too bad actually what we already have. Wife is pregnant again. Fantastic. This guy can't do anything. He's too small to siege. The King of Northumbria, which again is a duke because it's a petty kingdom. So the Duke of Northumbria has usurped the title of the County of Durham from Eithwald Oswulfson. Some of these names are really hard. I mean, that's sort of old A and E joined together. I don't know what the proper term is for that character. I have no idea how that's pronounced. I think it is pronounced as Ale. So it'll be Elfwald or Elfwald. I honestly have no idea. We do not use that character in England at all anymore, if we ever did. Some of the names that this game comes up with are really quite strange. We will have to go and take some bites out of Northumbria at some point. There we go. We've managed to get the victory there. We haven't got 100% war score yet, and we don't actually have enough men here to siege out the. Oh, we've gained a tithe in Lincoln. We don't actually have enough men here to siege out the bishopric. So what we're going to do is move into Worcester and into Warwickshire, and we should have enough men here to siege out the other castle. Actually, coming to think of it, Warwick would have been a better place to take now because Warwick actually has 2 castles. Although that would put us over our domain limit, so probably not best to grab that straight away, but we'll see what we can do. As the bitter war with Saxony rages on, the armies of King Carl of West Francia have captured Paderborn, the site of the great shrine of the holy tree Irminsul. By order of the conquering king, the troops burned the holy tree and proceeded to destroy the entire shrine. This has infuriated people of the Germanic religion everywhere. So, looks like Charlemagne is really going for it. He's expanding hard, which we expected to happen. We really want to try and get some sort of alliance with Charlemagne at some point. It'd certainly help us in our wars. So it may be worth marrying off one of our sons, or our son, to one of his daughters if that becomes a possibility later on. Just waiting for this siege to go. It will take a little while. We're running on speed 3. I'm quite happy to leave it there for the time being. There's not an awful lot else to do. Let's have just a quick look at Charlemagne. Does he actually have any sons? Let's look at his family. Yeah, he's got a few daughters actually. So we could quite possibly betroth them. So his oldest daughter is 7 years old. How old is our oldest or our only son? Our son is only 1. So it's unlikely that he'd be willing to do that. Wolfmare, and what was your daughter's name? Amaudru. And we've got another daughter. So if we were to arrange a betrothal between her and Wolfmare, would you accept that? No, you wouldn't. Why not? Prestige effects, and because the son is too young. So if my son was a little bit older, he may possibly accept that. We'll definitely keep our eye on that and come back to it in a couple of years' time. Because being able to marry our eldest son, who will become our next ruler because he's our heir, being able to marry him to the oldest daughter of Charlemagne could be really, really useful, because If we could assassinate successfully all of Charlemagne's sons, so she became the heir, then instantly we would be married to the Queen of Francia, or the Empress, even by that point, if that title has been created. That doesn't mean it's going to help us in the long run, because even if I was married to the Empress, I wouldn't have control over the land, but any children born to her would then instantly get a claim on that empire. So that could be quite good if that works out. Anyway, we've managed to win the Siege of Warwick. So we've got 100% war score. We can enforce our demands, basically. We'll offer peace, enforce demands. We gain 50 prestige, and we gain the county of Worcester. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we've succeeded with the plot. We've usurped the title. Yeah, we won all of that stuff. So that is now ours. Now, he is still the count of this place. And he doesn't like us, and he's not going to like us for quite some time. What we need to do now is lower our levies, because the longer we keep them up, the more penalty that we get with the AI. We could now imprison him if we wanted to. We probably could. We've only got a 47% chance of success. His heir doesn't dislike us all that much. But yeah, he's never really going to like us. Mainly because we usurped his title. So we could go ahead and arrest him. So if we fail, he may declare war on us. But let's try it anyway. No, we've got him. He's been safely locked away. So that's not too much of a problem. What we could try and do with him, if we wanted to, is ransom him back to himself, if he could afford it, which he can. So we could ransom him back to himself, basically, for 70 gold. But I think I'll keep him in there for now, and we'll see what happens. What we could do, of course, now he's in prison. We've got that option. What we could do is we could try and assassinate him, which would be really, really easy to do, because trying to assassinate someone that is in prison is like the easiest thing ever. As you can see, we'd have 383% plot power. Of course, there's every chance that we'll get caught in doing so, but let's go ahead and try it anyway. You know, live dangerously. So we'll auto-invite people to the plot. Now, we're not going to execute him, because if you execute him, then that is seen as tyrannical, and that will go away over time. But being able, oh, we're still paused. Being able to just have somebody assassinated is a lot less risky, providing you don't get caught. There's 181% plot power, which is not too bad. Is there anybody else that would potentially be willing to join? Local revolt risk, is that double stat? No, it's still only 5%, so I don't have to worry too much about that. You've got 20% plot power, and a little bag of gold may 20 gold. Would you be willing to join now? Possibly, maybe. Let's go and have a look. Up to 172.1%. A group of hedge knights have come to visit again. We'll do what we did last time, gain the prestige for the gold. And we've already got the trait just anyway, so let's just gain the piety there. Now we have had a son. Who's this? Alfred just drifts around doing nothing productive and nothing interesting. If only he could get off his butt and be a little bit more ambitious. So that's our courtier. Not too sure why it makes any difference to us whatsoever. What we could do is we've been around long enough now where we could actually change our family focus. Oh, here we go. Mayor Alfred, my conspirator, tells me that a man is now inside the prison where the Earl sits. He will arrange an escape attempt in which one of the prisoners will sadly suffer a tragic and very fatal accident. Okay, let's go ahead and approve the plan. Going to change our focus on to hunting for a very specific reason, is that will now allow us, under intrigue, to go on a grand hunt. Now, it just costs 25 gold, and we have to do it in at least September. Failure. The Earl refused to take the bait in an attempt to escape, but at least no one suspects my role in this. So, we didn't manage to kill him off, but at this point, he doesn't know that it was a plot against him, and he doesn't know that it was a plot by us. So, it's a shame we can't get this guy on board. Look at that. He's got 250% plot power. That would be absolutely amazing. There's only really one other person we could bribe for an extra 8%. I'm not sure how useful that would be. Let's go ahead and send him a gift anyway. He may be willing to join. Bishop Leoflelm, my co-conspirator, tells me that a man is now on the inside of the prison. So it's the same thing again. We'll approve the plan again. If he didn't take the bait the first time, I don't know what makes us think that he's going to attempt it, fall for it a second time, but we'll certainly have a look. He might fall for it. And there's still quite a lot of these little individual places. Success. He was killed while attempting to escape from the prison. But unfortunately, the man on the inside who made this happen mentioned my name while he was captured, which is a bit annoying. So that gives us a little bit of a penalty now with some people. Righteous imprisonment. Wow, we can imprison the Bishop of Newstead since he has acted dishonourably towards us. Is he the guy that spilled the beans? He is, isn't he? Now, do we really want to capture him? Because he actually relatively likes me. Of course, he does like the Pope more, which is a little bit of a pain. Do I want to bother arresting him? Is there any point to it? 94% chance of catching him. Let's do it. We've gone and arrested him. We'll go and have a look at the prisoners. There he is. And we'll ransom him back out to himself for 25 gold. There we go. At least we've got some money out of him now, which is more money than we were getting out of him as a priest. But there we go. For some free money. Just the easiest way to do that. Is there anywhere else that we can attack? We do actually have claims at the moment on Northumbria for some strange reason. What CB do we have over here on... Oh, Jewish man has appeared at your court. He comes highly recommended in the arts of bookkeeping and administration. Already he has suggested several ways of improving the bureaucracy efficiency of the realm, and he could potentially make a fine steward. Okay, let's have him join the court. We'll go and have a look at the council, and current steward is rank 14. This guy, he doesn't particularly like us very much though. So is it really worth getting him in? I think we'll leave him for the time being. At least until he maybe likes us a little bit more, because I'm not terribly happy about that. We can go on the hunt though, so let's go ahead and do that. Or maybe we can't. Oh, it's because it has to be between September and November. Okay, we've missed the window. So why can we attack Northumbria? Apparently we have some sort of CB. We have a CB to claim Durham. And that is basically it, I think. So we could try and claim Durham. If we just actually go and have a look at the Duke, or the Petty King of Northumbria, we can see that he has 15,000 men. Now, if we compare that to the number that we have, and we currently have, yeah, around about the same at the moment, so it's not worth doing that. It's impossible to try and get a hold of a Bormata, Bortme. I have no idea how that's pronounced. He always has some sort of excuse to get away from me, ignores me, or even hides from me. So there's another random opinion change for no good reason whatsoever. Let's just make sure that we carry on in the unpaused state there. We are still trying to fabricate this claim on Gloucester, by the way, which is taking absolutely forever, but it's hardly to be... It's to be expected. We do, of course, now own this this castle holding here. I really do wish that I had have taken Warwick, because although we would have been over our domain limit, but it would have actually given us the potential to get 2 baronies. But we can do that later on. It's not a big deal. And this guy, no, he really doesn't like us, does he? Because you consider us a rival. That's probably because we murdered your close kin. So, yeah, that's not going to be good. He may well turn against us in the future. I can completely understand that. We've got a technology that we can choose. We should probably go for military organisation, because it would give us better morale of armies and better global supply limits. Let's go ahead and do that. And we can invest some in light infantry as well, because at this stage in the game, light infantry is pretty much what your army is entirely made up of. Can't believe how slow the Chancellor goes here. I think what I may do is draw him out of there and just use him to improve relations somewhere. So let's see if we can improve relations with the Count of Oxford. He has most of our troops there. So let's go ahead and move our Chancellor to Oxford, because you don't seem to be having an awful lot of success with fabricating any claims down there. So we'll just have to find another way of doing that. It's only May, so we can't do anything else there. Can we get a better Chancellor? We actually, funnily enough, the Earl of Warwick, the guy who really, 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 really hates us, would like to become Chancellor. That said, he has the ambition to become Chancellor. If we made him Chancellor, he probably would hate us slightly less. We could award him an honorary title, make him like Master of the Horse or something. He's still never really going to be our friend. The first thing we'll do is get him to go and improve relations with himself. Because if we can do that, it'll help things out a little bit. So we'll keep it going. Collected a tithe in Lincoln. That's always nice. Let's just go up to speed 4. Now, at some point, I can't remember the exact date it happens, but you reach a point as anyone who's playing along the sort of coastlines. So particularly if you're playing in Great Britain or the United Kingdom, or if you're playing along the coast of France, where the Vikings continually start to raid you, and they're bloody annoying because you spend all of your time just chasing them off. Most of the time, they land on a coastal province, start trying to loot it. Before you can get any men there, even if you've got retinues stood around waiting for them, before you can get any men there, they usually manage to get back on the boats and get away, which is a little bit of a pain. If you can catch them, though, it's often a good way to get a little bit of prestige farm. What are your chances of increasing your relationship with yourself? 51% yearly. That's not too bad at all. And certainly if we can increase how much he likes us. I mean, he is considered a rival, and I don't think that will ever go away. We'll just have to deal with that and see what we can do. It may well end up starting a faction, so we will have to keep our eyes there. There is a known plot. What are you trying to do? You're the heir to the bishopric of Halton, and you're trying to kill somebody else randomly. I'm going to put auto stop plots for now. But the Spy Master will just basically automatically ask all of these people if they'll stop plotting against each other. Try not to have everything fragmented too much. The cook has prepared a magnificent meal with lots of different fruits, various kinds of meat, plenty of freshly baked bread, and several mature cheeses. I try to eat modestly, but the food is too good. It gives us a 70% chance of gaining the gluttonous trait. Gluttonous trait would reduce our stewardship and our church opinion and our attraction opinion. We don't want to be gluttonous. Or I can satisfy my hunger with bread and water. We've only got a 45% chance of gaining temperate, but that would actually give us +2 stewardship, some extra church opinion, and some same trait opinion. So we'll go ahead. We've actually gained the temperate trait, which is quite nice. Let's have a look at that now. So we are getting quite a few things here. We are a known murderer now, which has given us a -10 opinion with everybody, which is a little bit of a pain. But all in all, the rest of our stats aren't too bad. Just going to keep my eye on the date because we would like to go on the Grand Hunt, and it is September. So let's just quickly pause, go into intrigue, and we want to go on the Grand Hunt. Now you can only go on the Grand Hunt if you have the hunting focus. Before the Way of Life, it used to be just something you could pick, the same as going on a pilgrimage, but we will find the white stag, hopefully. And if we do this successfully, we have a few events that could improve our martial opinion. So the sight hounds thirsted for the blood this gentle afternoon. They brought us many hares. This is a fine sport, so just, 5 free prestige. The events aren't always guaranteed to trigger, and some will be better than others. Here we go, the white stag. I must send people out to find it. I have no time for dreams and rumours. We must send people out to find it. Let's go and see if we can find that white stag. You've improved our relationship with the Pope. That's quite nice. How much does the Pope like us now? Only 28. That's because we're a known murderer, really. A white hart has been seen north of Leicester. I am told it is the heart. It is a hart of 10 and the biggest deer ever seen. So I can say I find no joy in killing such a proud animal, and our marshal's opinion of us will drop by 10 for 10 years, but we gain 25 piety. I can send out our best hunter and some random guy. You are just a random guy, yeah, you're just a courtier. So a random guy's opinion of us will be changed by 15 for 10 years, and we gain 20 prestige. Or I can go, this is my kill. But we've got one of 5 options. There's a 65% chance bugger all's going to happen. There's a 10% chance that we'll gain the trait Diligent, which would be really nice because it gives us extra martial, intrigue, diplomacy, stewardship, learning, vassal opinion, same trait opinion. Diligent is a lovely, lovely trait to have. There's also a 10% chance that we'll gain 1 martial, which is nice. There's also a 10% chance that we'll end up wounded and a 5% chance that we'll end up maimed. Don't really want either of them, but let's try it anyway because, you know, it's only a game. Well, the Grand Hunt is over for now. It was a truly noble endeavour and the true challenge of our martial abilities. So, we got some prestige, but it doesn't look like anything really happened there. We didn't kill the White Stag. We didn't get maimed. We didn't gain any martial ability. Would have been nice to have got Diligent, but certainly didn't look like that was going to happen. How is our vassal opinion generally? How are things going at the moment? Yeah, we need to do a lot of these vassals here. Got some levy reinforcements. What we might have to do is just keep going with things like the feast whenever we can. So we can hold... The weird thing is with the feasts both sort of take place at the same time. One child lacks a guardian, which is our oldest daughter. Now, I want to bring her up. I could teach her myself. I've only got the 2 children. Well, I've got 3 children, but, you know, I've got my main heir, and this is the one that I want to try and marry off. What I will do then, yeah, I will educate her myself for the time being. Can I find myself in the list? Yep, there I go. So I'll educate her myself. And before we unpause... It was my son that I wanted to marry off, wasn't it? He's now 4. Again, I doubt that he would go for it. Is she already betrothed? It doesn't look like she would. So if I arrange a betrothal, would you yet be willing to accept it? No. And is it still because of the... Yeah, you don't have a great opinion of me either, do you? Maybe I should have got him to educate my daughter. Received credible reports of a recent sighting of the Great White Stag in the province of Chester. Saddle my horse. Can I actually get you to educate my daughter? Would you be willing to do it yourself? No. Because if I could get him to do it himself, then that would increase my relationship with him. He probably already has too many wards. Yeah, he's already got 2 wards, so he's not going to do that. We'll still keep our eye on it. It's definitely a plan for the future, if we can get that to work. So again, we've not got an awful lot going on. We will get to a point where we can start plotting with people. Everything seems a little bit slow. You've gathered your followers and your hunting dogs, and you've saddled your horse and prepared your weapons. You are ready to set out and go hunting the Great White Stag. And an epic hunt it shall be, so... Maybe we'll get it this time. Who knows? We're definitely going to go on the Grand Hunt again. You spend weeks in the wilderness... searching for any trace of your prey, but you are forced to return empty-handed. You are sure that no one's impressed by your failed adventure. It's my own failure. I can lose 20 prestige, and I gain the trait Humble, but I would also get Martial +1. And Humble's quite nice, because it gives me extra piety. Or I can gain the trait Arbitrary. Now, Arbitrary isn't all that good, because we'd lose some learning, we'd lose some stewardship, and we'll lose Vassal Opinion. So, we'll take the prestige hit. We didn't even get the trait modifier, so there's not an awful lot to worry about there. It didn't happen. I was really hoping that you'd actually get your finger out and improve some relations. I know you're improving relations with yourself, but I'll be honest, you're not doing a particularly good job of it. Fabricating claims, he does have a 15% chance of doing it, which is certainly better than the previous Chancellor was. Tried to make... Oh, you're trying to work with the mayor. I'm afraid that in the end the visit seems to have done more harm than good. So you've actually made it so that the mayor doesn't like me anymore. That's fine. Maybe I'll just put him in... In fact, I'll tell you what, this is what I'm going to do now, because this might be funny. Right, pause the game. I'm going to take you, and I'm going to get you to fabricate claims in Gloucester, because the last Chancellor ended up getting murdered. So, you know, the same might happen to him as well. And if he gets murdered, his heir... Oh, he doesn't like me either. Okay, so this family's never going to like me, but oh well. We'll just keep killing them off till we find one that does. It is now September. So let's go on the Grand Hunt again. And we can also probably... No, it won't let us do the feast at the same time. So, 5-3 prestige. Yeah, we've not got an awful lot going on there. Send out the best hunter, or this is my kill. Let's try it again. I've gained the diligent trait. Fantastic. So that's going to be really, really nice. So that'll improve things a lot. Now what we could do now if we wanted to is get rid of hunting focus and pick something else. So we could pick the theology one and try and go on a pilgrimage. Grand Hunt is now over. I'm proud of my hunting abilities. That's not too bad. So we do quite good if we get into any fights because we have got some decent martial ability. But we've gone well over the 20-minute mark. In fact, we're more like 25, so I'm going to call that a video there. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Crusader Kings 2, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.